G'day folks, welcome back to Dune Awakening, episode 51. Hope you guys are doing well. In the previous episode, we focused our efforts quite a bit on those skill trainers, and I figure we're sort of almost there, so hopefully maybe in the next episode or the next couple of episodes we'll be done with all of the advanced skill trainers. But in this episode, I'm probably going to spend the majority of my time dealing with this main quest, which is, searching for answers. We do need to speak to Zantara in Harko village, so we'll do that momentarily. But I have been pretty busy trying to make all the things, I guess, so that we can place down our very first spice-powered generator. So let's actually go ahead and place that down first, and I want to sort of play around with making the fuel for it, because obviously that also has some very specific requirements. And once we power it up, I also want to do a little bit of tidying up with some of these, I guess, smaller basic generators that we've got hanging around in this space. Just have to deal with this big stutter here. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so we've got a couple of plans already, and I'm just going to build one of them. So there we go. Now, provided we can get this running, we should hopefully be able to get rid of some of these generators. I just need some spice-infused fuel cells. Actually, I think I may have some in storage already. There we go. So we've got about 20. This is not really going to be that much, right? Like, that's barely anything. But, I suppose it'll keep it running for a little bit. It does say here that it'll run for the next, like, 1 hour and a half or so, I think. So I'm just gonna see if there's any way we can make some more spice-infused fuel. I may have all of the ingredients for it, and I think I've got a little bit of water banked up as well. Yeah, here we go. So we need some irradiated slag and spice residue and fuel cells. So none of this except for the irradiated slag seems to be a bit of a challenge. I mean, even radiated slag won't be too difficult to get, but it is probably going to be the limiting factor, preventing us from getting like tons of it, right? So let's just make the maximum amount. I probably don't need the irradiated slag currently. And yeah, I'll try to see if I can get some more irradiated slag, so that we can make some more fuel. But actually, before we move on, as I was mentioning, I do want to tidy up some of the other sort of smaller generators if I can. And I probably should just quickly have a look at the circuit here. So we've got another 1,500 almost in power. I know we're going to need some of it. Let me just take a quick look at how much this is going to require. Power cost 500. Okay, so as long as we have another 500, we should be good. And assuming that's going to be the last thing that we need to power in the game, at least for now, then I probably won't need, so many more generators. So I think we're okay to demolish that one. I'll grab the fuel, actually. Why don't we have space? Okay, that's actually a lot of fuel. So I might need to drop that into storage a little bit later. Let's just quickly check this once more. Yeah. So this'll drop by another 150 or so if I get rid of both of them, which I think I don't mind doing that. But the only issue is just making sure that we keep this thing running and making sure that... oh, actually, I've got some ready to deposit already. Oh, okay, right. So we don't process the spice-infused fuel cells one by one. There's probably a batch that comes out every single time we craft some. So I'm just going to quickly inspect that. Which means I probably don't need that much irradiated slag every single time. Yeah, it gives us a batch of 10 for every single one that we craft. So there you go. Won't be too difficult. So I'll probably process that, you know, between episodes. But yeah, I'm glad that we've got at least a little bit more fuel to go in there already. So, without further ado, let us get ourselves to Hako Village, and from there we should find out what Zantara wants and how we can proceed to try and search for more answers about this sleeper, or perhaps maybe the location of the Fremen. Right guys, we are back in Hako Village. I'm just in front of the Chome Exchange because I had a bit of cash to stow away, but Zantara should be waiting for us somewhere here in the back alleys. There he is. Alright, let's see what he has to say.
Are you ready for this, off-worlder? Old Carthag awaits.
I'm ready.
Remember, if we're caught, we're dead. But don't worry, off-worlder. I'll make sure your water finds the Fremen.
Jeez. Okay, let's go then. The ruins of old Carthag. Now, I believe this has actually appeared in the overworld map as well, so I'm not entirely sure if this is a place that we can just keep going back to, or what the deal is. Okay, now what do we need to do here? Is that Zantara? His armor looks pretty sick though, to be honest. I wonder if we can get like a swatch that gives us access to that. Anyway, we are supposed to find a way inside the base. So if this place is a ruin though, like why would there be a base here? Very good question. Anyway, assuming there are going to be some enemies to deal with, we better be prepared. Don't know if there is any decent loot to be had.
The fan would slice you to a fine mist, a most obscene waste of water. We must disable this fan if we are to proceed.
Okay. Can we just not like shoot at it, or are there controls somewhere? Let's see. I'm just trying to see if some of these cables are leading somewhere. Or if there are fan controls. We didn't see anything here, did we? What about this guy? Improvised cut array. Power pack, okay. Right, I suppose that's there because of... Oh god, I forgot to stow away fuel cells. Alright, that's a bit of a waste, but that's okay. Alright, so we're obviously supposed to cut something. These cables might be what we're looking for. Or not. Nothing here. Unless I'm supposed to get to the center. Or can I go across? Okay, there's something here. Maybe these things? No? Okay, right. So why would we have a cut array and a power pack? Or does that not even matter? I'm not entirely sure, actually. I assumed that we would have had to cut something, but maybe I'm mistaken. Okay. Well, at least I didn't fumble around for too long.
This air smells antiseptic to me.
Make her take our souls.
Off-worlder, I don't suppose you happen to have a dissembler set to the exact codes of this pentashield, do you? I thought not. Our paths must diverge for the moment, but let us keep our voices close on the communinet. Happy hunting.
So many of these spawn beacons. I guess they're all just like props though. Ah, right, okay. Well, this is the reason why we were given a cut array. Seems pretty quiet so far. I wonder if the Hawks are still here. Picking up the pieces. And also, I'm not entirely sure what happened in Neo Carthag. Or hang on, this is not Neo Carthag, is it? This is Old Carthag. And Neo Carthag is where they're sending all of the new slaves. Learn more about the purpose of the facility. Is there something that we need to interact with? Possibly. There's a locked door, and then... Yeah, there's a pathway over there. Oh, this is where we came out from. My bad. There must be something here.
Off-worlder, are you there? I'm certain you've noticed by now we have entered something well beyond normal Harkonnen devilry.
Okay. Maybe they're doing, I don't know, experiments or something? Maybe this is a research lab. Some kind of toxic-looking sludge.
I see things that raise the darkest of suspicions. I'm not... Sand and sky. One moment, Off-worlder. I must examine this.
We are picking up radiation, though. Could put my rad suit on if I need to. Or I could take the iodine pill. Probably won't need it though. Alright, let's head back.
By the Maker. Off-worlder, we have entered a den of abominations. These are Tleilaxu. We must be in one of their laboratories.
Tleilaxu, okay.
Attend, children. It is time. Hear me. Where were you born? Where is your place? Put your hand in the box.
Okay, are we saying that perhaps maybe we are some kind of a Tleilaxu experiment, maybe? And maybe the Tleilaxu and the Bene Gesserit are working together. To what end? Not sure.
We now speak of the Gola, perhaps our finest product, our finest prayer to the clay.
Prayer to the clay. Gola. Maybe they're ghouls. Like these guys are. Basically ghouls.
Do you know of the Bene Tleilax, Off-worlder? The star Thalam warms but one planet because it could not bear any further obscenity.
Yeah, so that's kind of interesting. I'm again not familiar with too much of the lore myself. But there's the Bene Gesserit and then the Bene Tleilax, right? And I wonder if there's some kind of a relationship there between the two factions. Don't know what the prefix Bene means. I'm not sure if I'm going the right way. Alright. So, I'm just going to backtrack a little bit, because we did end up breaking down this door, but I know there's another pathway here, so I'm just curious to see if this leads anywhere. Ooh, this one's a bit bigger. They do seem to tank quite a bit of damage. I don't mind that power pack, actually. It's a Mark V, which... yeah, not too bad. I mean, we do have a Mark VI, but... so it'd be a downgrade, but... just in case we need it, I'll bring it with me.
The Tlilaxu are genetic manipulators of the highest order. They brew wonder and dread from the essence of life. Entire galaxies of horror distilled into a test tube. For even the most profane soul, the Tlilaxu excite disgust.
So, I wonder if they took over the ruins after the Harks left. That's sort of kind of the impression that I'm getting, unless they were working with the Harkonnen in the past. Okay, I think that's just going to take us further. Let's just backtrack a little bit this way. See if we can find any loot. Or perhaps maybe some lore. Ooh, okay, managed to kill them all.
This leads some of our geneticists to hypothesize that a Gola's death memory can be accessed. Through the proper form of stimuli and psychological trauma, a Gola may reawaken their pre-Gola memories. The degree of this recall is, at this time, only speculation. We now speak of the axolotl tank, a womb advanced by science to the pinnacle of divinity. Axolotl tanks are capable of growing living beings.
Axolotl tanks.
Hear me. You are the scoundrel. We are the hags. You are the slaves.
Yeah, I reckon we've come from this lab, or maybe another lab. But, that could have been our origin. And that's why, I guess, in the character creator, we could essentially create a character with a background. And perhaps maybe we're one of these Gola with a re-triggered memory. Yeah, these ghoul things are very defensive. So there's probably going to be waves of enemies down there.
The applications of the axolotl tank only grow, both manifold and multiform, overreaching the vast horizons of possibility.
Alright, let's do this.
Dear God, if you could see what I'm seeing.
Damn it.
It's terrible. Monstrous, past all sanity.
Yeah, even more of them coming out. And more from there as well. Not sure if I need to be fighting all these guys or if I should be trying to get myself out of this place somehow.
It's utterly beyond thought. I dare not tell you. The most disturbing spice dream could not show this. They are not...
I wonder if he's also getting attacked or something. Alright.
nonsense! They defy all reason! Shall I take you?
Man, I've definitely been sleeping on the Shiga wire. It's so good. Well, these guys are throwing stuff. Ooh, okay. Why am I taking damage? God.
Off-worlder. We must reunite. There are hatches that lead downward. See if you can locate one.
Alright. Not gonna say no to any of this stuff, though. Grab it. And maybe a little bit of ammo won't hurt. Okay. Well, I'm glad that's over. I don't think I really need more than what I have, so...
We have even explored the possibility of using axolotl tanks to replicate the spice melange. This would forever change the shape of power in the universe.
Okay. So they were hoping to be able to make a substitute. Synthetically produced melange. Sort of fully expecting one of these guys to just simply burst out of the tank. Oh. Okay, yeah, I spoke too soon. Oh, I guess none of these guys actually came out of the tank, though. Just gonna check out all of these side rooms first. Yeah, nothing too interesting. I guess that's just enemy spawn points.
Off-worlder, I have entered a large cavern and will await you here. Hurry.
I wonder if he's been injured. He doesn't sound too good. I'm just trying to make sure that I play all of the recordings, if we can find them. Oh, great. Actually, I won't say no to the Scout Ornithopter wing. Could be useful. Problem is, it's only one wing, so I'd have to make the rest. That's fine. If I really, really need it. There he is. Okay, he doesn't look injured or anything like that, so that's good. Let's grab
I've
this.
seen things this day that I will never speak of. For when I pass out of this universe, the memory of it will mercifully die. Come, let us continue.
Alright, moving on. Ooh. Look at all this water.
Our cat's paw returns and brings a desert lion in tow. What is it you seek? The sleeper is not here.
It is a strange thing to see a Bene Gesserit perched at the center of a Tleilaxu web.
Curiouser and curiouser.
Tell me, if you are truly of the Sisterhood, then command us to put our blades away.
Clever children.
Talk, or we will take turns degloving your skull of all its faces.
Be at peace, Desert Lion. I'm here to give answers.
What interest does the Bene Tleilax have with me?
Speaking as someone who habitually hides behind other guises, perhaps we're interested in the real you, the royal you.
Tell us what you know of the Sleeper.
Oh yes, the Sleeper is our greatest experiment yet. However, I should like to talk about this one here.
How does this off-worlder relate to you and your plans?
Have you not guessed?
Amputees often complain of feeling their phantom limbs. Tell me, little homunculus, when you allowed yourself to be Count Fenring's plaything. When you murdered sibling.
After sibling.
Did you feel nothing?
Not even a tickle.
A clone.
Clones are grown from cells taken from the living. Golas are harvested from the dead. They are walking mausoleums, haunted by the memories of a corpse. Oh, my poor child of the tube. Your life is not yours. Your memories and identity are product, code, content. You are one of many, a ghoulish fractal, repeating and repeating and repeating. Every horror you faced in this lab emerged from the same slime you congealed in.
Enough. That's more than enough.
You seem to have me at a disadvantage, Desert Lion. I do not possess the voice. I am no Bene Gesserit. And yet, when it comes to our product, I may as well be. Kill Xantar!
Oh no. The compulsion.
You still don't know what cadaver you were scraped from.
There's no time for masks now. My real name, is Bronzo Vernius. My mission is to find the Sleeper. Listen, the Fremen are still out there. They will return once the Sleeper has awakened. You must find Stilgar. Arrakis has sharpened you, off-worlder. But what will you do with that edge?
The hell is happening? Escape the facility. Okay. Well, that's a bit of a surprise. Why was the facility still standing in the first place? If it was about to... Oh god. Collapse. What happens if I go in that direction? I'm not even gonna worry about these guys, because, probably not worth the time. Assuming we just need to go across. There's the Oni. Wow, and just like that, Zantara's gone. No one to guide us anymore. Okay. Seems like we just need to return back to base to see if we can complete this quest and perhaps maybe get a hint of how to begin the next part of the main quest.
Hello? Are you there? So you made it out. Good. I want to hear all about it, but it's complicated. After Fade Routha was spotted in Arakeen, Mother and Father have put me on lockdown. For different reasons, of course. Father thinks the Harkonnen want to abduct and force me to submit to the betrothal with Fade. Mother, well, she's more worried about my meeting Zentara without a chaperone, I think. We've got history. Speaking of the most wanted man in the Imperium, he's disappeared again, hasn't he? Did he say when he'll make contact? The man is frustratingly hard to pin down. He does love playing the dashing outlaw. I'll reach out again when I can find the time. Be safe.
Well, she's not going to be too happy with the answer to that question. So, an unexpected visitor. Look for a sign in a Haga Basin settlement. Look for a sign in a Haga Basin settlement. Settlement? Like as in one of the trading stations, perhaps? Or somewhere else? I'm not sure. I'm not really getting any main quest markers or anything like that on the map, so I assume this part of the quest may just simply trigger as soon as I arrive at a certain location. What I'm gonna do though, just because we're about like 45 minutes or so into the episode, might actually clear a couple of different outposts just to make sure that we do get all of the research points. And yeah, I think we're probably going to wrap up the episode from there. We'll probably do a little bit more of the main quest in the next episode, or again, we can go back to doing more of the skill trainer quests. But yeah, let's try and clear one or two outposts, depending on how long that might take, and we go from there. Okay, here we are. Valbreaker Gate. The structure looks very, very familiar, so I don't think this is going to take us too long to try and get through. Just get rid of any snipers initially. What are we looking at there? Are those Harkonnen or maybe Atreides deserters? Stash that away for a second. Probably another sniper up there. I don't really see him though. Maybe we can get away with not having to take him out, but let's look around a little bit. Now, how do we get into this structure? I suppose maybe there's an opening up there. Yeah, maybe this is not the right way. Or perhaps maybe it's on the other side completely.
What?
Okay, just a bunch of deserters, I think.
Shield on.
Whoa. Not entirely sure what's going on there. Some graphical glitches. Yeah, this place is triggering some very strange glitches. I don't know if it's my graphics card or the game itself. So I probably don't want to stay here for too long. Obviously we do need to grab that intel, so gonna try and be quick about it. There it is. Alright, sweet. There's probably still some loot or something like that here as well, though. You would think. Or is that the extent of it? Yeah, that could be it, actually. Maybe something up above.
Who's there? Sound alarm! I need...
What do we have here? Buggy booster. Probably don't need that. Yes, actually there is a little bit more to this place. But not much more, I guess. I'm just trying to look for a bigger chest. Maybe that's about it. There's probably no other treasure here. Okay, cool. I think we're done. Right, so I've decided that I'm gonna just simply approach a trading station just to see what would happen if we did that, because we're supposed to approach some kind of a settlement, right? So I have no idea what that means exactly, but I assume this is a settlement. Ooh, yes, Zantara's little flying rodent. Noctua. I'm sorry about Zantara. I couldn't control myself. Noctua chirps at you, but seems frustrated at your lack of understanding. I'm sorry, I don't understand you.
Very good. You're there. Count Fenring wants to talk to you, and it's never a good idea to keep our dear Fenring waiting. Come to me in Harko as soon as you can. I have a ribbon for you, kitten.
A ribbon? Okay, I guess they're wanting us to assassinate more people. Since I'm here though, I may as well check in to see if there are any quests or anything like that that can be done. Doesn't look like it. Alright, well I'm glad that we did trigger that and that wasn't too difficult to sort of figure out. Alright, moving on. Just gonna head back home, and I think we'll wrap up this episode. I know I thought about doing maybe a couple of bases, but I reckon we can keep a couple more bases for another episode. And yeah, I'm gonna probably just review what I'm going to be doing in between episodes as well. And that should give me a little bit of direction before we even start the next one. Right, guys, so for the next episode, I think we're going to want to start thinking about making the carryall ornithopter. It's a bit of a difficult thing to decide because you're either going to be spending a lot of time getting the carrier ornithopter first or the harvester first, and you kind of need both, right? So I'm just looking at the cost of a lot of this stuff, and both are equally as costly. So yeah, it's definitely going to be a bit of a challenge for us. So I'll start with the carrier ornithopter, and while we're building all of the pieces, you know, throughout the next several episodes, we are also going to be spending quite a bit of time looking at reconstructing the base to accommodate such a large vehicle. Now, the only way I'm thinking of this working properly is if we spent a bit of time perhaps maybe adding either more to the garage or perhaps maybe more to this structure, or perhaps maybe even both. I'm sort of not entirely sure if I want a top entry hangar, or if I wanted a sideways entry hangar. Both seem pretty appealing to me. I could also experiment a little bit more on the very top of the main building to see if we could expand that instead and have a hangar that would accommodate larger vehicles there. But we are already keeping the assault ornithopter up there, right? So I might have to think about moving that if I decide on doing that. So yeah, a few decisions need to be made, I feel, and it's probably not going to be an easy exercise. But if there's anything we're going to do with building, it's probably going to be a bit of experimentation here and there until we sort of get to where we want to be, right? So that's at least my my current plan. Just looking at the way things are shaped over here, the problem for us as well is that we probably don't have a lot of space to work with in the direction right in front of us, so that could be a bit of an issue. Let me just take a look at what we can build here. Okay. Yeah, alright. So you can see here that the wall is pretty much right in front of us, so we can't even exceed this space. So we might have to build out that way, or perhaps maybe there's an opportunity to build out this way. So if you sort of see where the square is, that should give us a little bit of space to work with to expand the build. That might not be a bad idea, actually. Maybe we can sort of expand the hangar that way. We probably need quite a few more pillars and all that sort of stuff to support everything. So yeah, gonna be a challenging build, but I think we can make it happen. So yeah, over several episodes, obviously. So yeah, those are the two things that we'll focus on. I think I mentioned something about putting some furnishings and all that sort of stuff in, so we could very quickly do that right now. And it's not really a lot of furnishings that I wanted to put in because, we just had some space here, or some dead space, which I think it would be a good idea for us to sort of, pad out. So I just don't want things to look too samey, if that makes sense. But perhaps maybe if we can add a little bit more. So maybe that over there, and perhaps maybe we can move stuff a little bit. So that doesn't look too bad. And maybe I can push this a bit closer, and we can sort of add more bookcases here. Yeah, okay. And, well, somehow I've run out of granite stone, but I think the idea would be to have just a little bit more to place down, maybe another wardrobe there. That doesn't seem too bad. Or I could put one more of these things over there, and that way we could sort of place some decorations. I think that's probably a better idea. Like that. But yeah, I'm gonna need to get some granite for that, which won't be too hard, to be honest. And one other thing that I also want to do is to just quickly show you guys, well, it looks like in this Landsrad term, the Atreides are once again doing very well. I feel like there's probably a lot of Atreides players on my server, and the Harkonnens don't really win very often, but I was sort of looking through some of my options here, and I do see the power harness for this particular card. And apparently we need to deliver Regis Rapiers for this one. So we need to deliver quite a few. And yeah, this could be a challenge, right? Like, I think I would need to deliver about 10 Regis Rapiers. And I've got maybe a couple of days remaining to try and do that. I'm gonna see if I can try to go for this. Alternatively, I've also got... where is it? I think I saw... the pincushion pants here, and this is delivering a radiation suit Mark 5. So this, I mean, again, both of them could be pretty challenging, but I might see if we can go for it within the next couple of days, and I'll report back to you guys on whether or not I was successful in claiming it. I think this is it, guys. Hope you've enjoyed this episode. Definitely a big, I guess, I don't want to say revelation. I suppose it is, with the Tleilaxu. So we were dealing with a Bene Tleilaxu when we... can we even say that we arrived on this planet? We probably have been... I don't even want to say cloned, but we've been grown on this planet and let loose. And we are a Gula with memories. So, not entirely sure how things are gonna develop from here. Anyway, guys, drop a like down below if you're enjoying things. As usual, stay true, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.